Always. It's always the fate of the galaxy is up to one person and one person alone. Ah, Revenwick. I like that name. Franchise chronological order playthrough? Oh, face. Yeah. Not every single possible game in existence, but definitely a good chunk of them. And here's the most fun part. I haven't played a single one. And my wife has played most of them, she says. Well, you've played all of the early ones. There's a lot of the later ones you haven't played. Not that many? Whatever. My wife's actually knows more about Star Wars than I do. It's kind of nuts. And she was wanting me to play this game for a while, so I just thought, hey, let's do a franchise playthrough, starting, of course, with Knights of the Old Republic. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, this is fun. For how old this game is, it still really stands up well. It does her heart good to hear me say, Padawan, a word if I may. There are many rumors about your most recent meeting with the Jedi Council. There is talk that they may be sending you on a mission to help us against Malak and the Sith. Interesting. Gotcha. So chronological, not as in game release order, but rather the time it takes place in the Star Wars universe. Exactly. I have a little spreadsheet I made that starts with like the Old Republic era, then it goes to, I know I can't get out of it, but yeah, it's just like the 4 or 5 different Star Wars eras, starting with the Old Republic, then going like through the Empire, the Dark era, and then like the New Republic is what I think they're called. But yeah, it's basically Star Wars lore chronological order. That's my goal / vision with this playthrough. Okay, there's a talk that they are sending you on a mission to help against Malak and the Sith. Also, music is disabled? Yeah, music has to be disabled because I'm putting all my stuff on YouTube and dumb copyright laws. And because Star Wars is probably one of the most well-known soundtracks in existence, and because it is now owned by Disney, one of the most litigious organizations in the history of the world, I don't want to risk it. And it breaks my heart because I played a little bit with music and it sounds so gorgeous. How do you know the council gave me a mission? I saw you going into the council chambers. You were there for some time. I naturally assumed the council had given you a task to perform. Please understand that I am not asking you to reveal anything that could endanger the Order or the Republic. Whatever task the council has given you is for your ears, not mine. I only wanted to wish you well, and to warn you to be careful. There are many evils out there, many dangers. The Sith are not the only minions of the dark side. I mean, that's fair, but none of the music in the game is necessarily copyright prone except for the opening title crawl and the final credits of the game. Understood, but all it takes is a section of music that sounds like a different section of music, and you can get a copyright strike. Also, I did a little research, and apparently it's up in the air, and people didn't have good luck with it. So I just chose to play safe and, unfortunately, turn it off. It's original music, almost nothing used from the films. Understood, but all it takes is a little score to sound like a different score, and it can completely screw everything up. It's, copyright, especially when it comes to audio and music, is such a nightmarish mess. It's so depressing at times. The Sith are not the only minions of the dark side. What could be more dangerous than the Sith? Master Doric has been training me to succeed him as chronicler here at the Academy. In my studies, I have come across tales of creatures that are born of the dark side. Monsters of pure evil. The worst of these abominations is the Tarentelek, a beast that feeds on the blood of those who are strong in the Force. Over the centuries, many Jedi have fallen to their ravenous hunger. Oh no. And of course, because the game mentions it, we're going to meet one. Hard to believe an animal could pose a threat to a Jedi. The Tarentelek is a predator, and we Jedi are its prey. They are incredibly strong, with a primal cunning, and they have an... Oh, miss it. There are some who believe the Tarentelek is a monster bred by the ancient... Oh, come... They're quite rare, only dwell in the most dangerous and darkest of places. Oh. One has not been seen in nearly 40 years. Sound like they're extinct. Not in 40 years. Given your wife is a huge Star Wars fan, do you think she'll have you sit through the game's soundtrack off screen? She most likely already has the soundtrack, and I've already listened to it a lot. Not so much? She has the soundtrack already, so I've heard of it already. I need to listen to it? I know. Okay. One has not been seen in 40 years? Sounds like they're extinct. This is not the first time the Tarentelek has vanished for long periods of time. Many believe they can lay dormant for years, only to rise and hunt when the power of the dark side waxes full. I fear Malik's rise may have woken these creatures from their dormant state. Once the Sith are beaten, I would not be surprised if the Council organized another great hunt to try and exterminate them. Interesting, there was a great hunt. Thanks for the warning, I'll be careful. A final warning as you go, Padawan. Do not underestimate the Tarentelek. If you do, you may suffer the same fate as those who disappeared after the Great Hunt. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the store. What does the store have to offer? I understand congratulations are in order. You decided to join the Jedi rank and file. Jedi. Another fresh-faced apprentice ready to leap into Jedi training with both feet. Well, best of luck to you is all I can say. It's always good to see another ally in the fight against darkness and corruption. I clicked, dang it. I'd like to see what you have for sale. Okay, perfect. 4,400 credits, enough to have a little bit of fun with. Oh, that's right, these special weapons that are like 7,000 and 8,000 each. Oof. Revan. Oh, since this is my first time tuning into your stream and missed quite a bit of your previous streams, thoughts on the game so far? Level design, characters, dialogue, art style, gameplay? For having come out in 1999, I think it was? No? 2003? Okay, I saw something else recently that must have been 1999. Episode 1 what? Okay. I'm getting my years mixed up. I always do. For how old this game is, it still holds up really well. The voice acting is surprisingly good. Level design could have a little bit more stuff, but at the same time they were limited by technology, but I'm also surprised at how good of what's it called? Motion capture. Basically, action motion capture is also surprisingly good. Be cool if I could see what I had in terms of Pazak cards. Does it show me? No, it does not. But yeah, so I mean, I think I'm still towards like late early game, and yeah, I'm impressed with it so far. Is there anything I want to sell off? Unfortunately, my hoarding mentality when it comes to games is kicking in, so I don't know what I want to get rid of. Let me see. What do I want to buy? Okay, you just have 5 advanced med packs. I'll buy all those just so I have them. Much agree. Yeah, he just basically wrapped up Taurus, aka Tutorial World. That's a good description of it. Tutorial World. You'd say I'm like 20% through. Yeah, that feels about right, I would say. Pretty much at the end of Second Planet. And I believe if I go into the Ebon Hawk, and I go to... Where is it? Right over here. Star map. Galaxy map. There it goes. It opens up now. We're on Dantooine, and there is a... Oh, Yavin. Yavin, Kashyyyk, Manon, Worldwide Ocean, Korriban, Tatooine. Oh, and 2 more spots for like 3 more spots. Okay. It's kind of cool. Are we a dark side boy or a light side boy? Light side all the way. I have a hard time playing dark side anything. It doesn't matter if it's Star Wars or any other genre out there. I just always have a hard time being evil or dark side. So, light side boy all the way. A light side boy who's not afraid to kill the bad guys. How about that? So, neutral good, to use a D&D term. Is your shield still going, Karth? Dang. I struggle being evil too, I don't blame you. Nice to hear that. My wife just muttered, I hate being evil. I like some of the sarcasm of the evil dialogue options in this game. And even though I might say that in real life, I don't mean it in an evil way. Sometimes I struggle with some of the dialogue options because it's like, this is what I would say as a joke, but you're meaning it as an evil option. It's hard. My wife just said I'm too sarcastic at times. Hey, droid, didn't mean to click on you though, unfortunately. Ah! No. Can I? Yes, I can. Ooh, Juhani, yes. Hi there. What? My wife is waving at me. Yes. A little bit of trivia from my wife for you. How about come over here and talk because of how I have my microphone set up?
I've played KOTOR so many times that one time I played a game and I called myself a nice Sith Lord to be hilarious. Whenever you have the auto-generated text, but the point is, I tried to be a Sith Lord. I lasted maybe a fourth of the game, and nope, I can't do this. I can't do it. I went to the light side. That's about as Sith as we get over here.
Yeah. A nice Sith Lord is pretty good. Yes, it would. She's played a number of games where she has fun with the name, so that whenever anyone in the game mentions you, it turns into a joke. Hello, I am a nice Sith Lord, for example. I'm not going to kill you. I'm a nice Sith Lord. Oh, that's about it. That's about you in a nutshell. Okay, droid light plating. Nope, I have that fully upgraded. Energy shield level 2. Yeah, droid bro is about as good as he's gonna get currently. Unless I give him a... Wait, if I give him a rifle instead of a blast? Oh, you can't do a blaster, never mind. Or a rifle, he can only do blasters. Zalbar, how are we doing, buddy? Got you with a dual vibroblade setup, that's really nice. Bastila, looking good with what you have. I think. Yes. Canderous. Demolitions +2, no. Actually, those... Let's see. Yes! Mission. You are my... Anything that can blow up, I can disarm person. Heavy blaster. What do you have by way of... Oh. Nope. Mission. Thank you. What do you have by way of... What am I looking for? Oh, you have dueling. Okay, mission is a one-handed. Juhani. Will help your reflex a little bit, but you are, I think, fairly low level, so we're going to need to bump you up a bit. Okay, close out there. We have everyone about as leveled up as they're going to get.
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before, in the Grove. It was wrong of me.
You thought the dark side had consumed you. It is nothing.
I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own.
Do not worry, Juhani, I forgive you.
Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed.
Nice. Oh wow, Revan. Yeah, I'm in the same way. Huge Star Wars and especially KOTOR fan. I'd say I have about 5K lifetime hours played across first Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. 10 plus game completions, currently working on your 13th-ish game completion, where you're doing a no weapons playthrough? So are you just bopping everybody on the head with your hands, or is it just like literally no weapons, like a pacifist run? Is that even possible? Oh, I don't know if it's even possible. So that'd be cool if it is. Well, no weapons can also include like force powers, probably. Yes, hands playthrough, some evasion maneuvers, grenades. Okay, grenades, mines, force powers. Gotcha. So basically, you're no shooty-shooties and no bop sticks. Wow, that sounds like a challenge. And a fun challenge at that. Oh. So literally, what we have next is going to no blasters, no bop sticks, no laser swords, etc. That sounds like a fun challenge. Complicated. Probably need to do quite a bit of save scumming, but interesting. Oh. Oh, we can go to any one of these in whatever order we want. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, we're familiar with Dantooine. I'm familiar with Korriban. It's a volcanic planet. Very rocky. Very inhospitable. Manan, ocean planet. That sounds really cool. And, of course, Kashyyyk. Oh. That's going to be fun. Forest planet. And then Yavin. That's a gas. Oh, there we go. I thought it was a gas giant. These coordinates point to a small space station orbiting the gas giant Yavin. It's definitely a step up on difficulty from Blasters only playthrough. Fun. I mean, Blasters are very viable if you build your characters correctly, which is what I'm seeing. My character, I started kind of as a jack of all trades and then kind of quickly seeing that's not the good way to go. Oh, okay. So we're done on Dantooine for the moment. And this is a good place to stop for me. It's getting late and I need to get off. Cool. Revan Wick. Is that a mixture of John Wick and Star Wars by chance? Indeed. I thought it was nice. I know my nerddoms, kind of, a little bit, maybe kind of, sort of. Nah, says my wife. You know more about Star Wars in particular than me, but I think I know more about nerddom as a whole than you. Okay? Fair to say that? No? Oh, I'm sure I know more about nerddoms as a whole. The whole fan desire of Keanu Reeves to play Revan. Oh, I didn't know that. The whole fan desire of Keanu Reeves to play Revan, alongside the fan art of it, kind of led me to going with this username. That's cool. I like usernames that are like that. Revanwick. That's really cool. Also didn't know Keanu Reeves wanted to play Revan. Oh, that's cool. So far, Revan is still a mysterious character to me. I haven't seen much of him beyond the occasional flashback. Username origin stories. Hey, exactly. So I'm all done with gaming for today. If you'd like to go on to see somebody else, feel free. Revan Wick, I know you're new. Something I do is I take a few-minute break, then I come back and I have what I call my Real Talk segment, which is where I talk about some random topic from a whole list of stuff, almost always Christian-based. I have a whole lot of them that I'm going to be putting up on YouTube soon. When will I be streaming next? I will be streaming next on... it's Wednesday, so I'll be streaming on Saturday. If you're watching on Twitch, you should be able to scroll down and see my schedule. And it'll change... Oh, what is it? What am I thinking of? Train of thought left the station without me. I hate it when that happens. Chronic illness brain, I hate it. Oh, that's right. If you scroll down, you'll see my schedule, and it will autocorrect for whatever time zone you happen to live in. But if you happen to live in California, it's Saturday at 9 o'clock is when I'll be starting. Can we talk about how not very Christian California is? Oh my goodness, ain't that the truth? I live in California, and it's so sad to see. Conservative, I messed up on the stream. Oh, actually, you can kind of have both. California is about as anti-Christian and conservative as you can get. I don't know. That might be a subject I can talk about. I'll have to think about that for a minute or two as I talk about it, or as I think about it. Oh, it's late. My brain's my brain's gone. Anyway, give me a moment. I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. I'm back. So, I'm actually unsure what to talk about for a Real Talk segment tonight. And not because I don't have a subject. I have a few different things, but I don't know primarily what to talk about. So, one of them has a bit of fear and uncertainty associated with it because of what it dips into. Another is something I've talked about before and not sure if I should rehash it again. And then another one I didn't even have written down. So here's the struggle I sometimes go through when coming up with Real Talk segments. Sometimes it's I have too many options and I don't know what to do. Sometimes it's I have a few options, but I don't know precisely because I don't have particular guidance. Other times it's I have no ideas, no fresh ideas. So either just come up with something or I rehash an old idea. But I think I'm going to take the plunge and go into the one thing I was thinking of that has some fear and uncertainty associated with it. So as I've had multiple people point out on my stream, I have the tags of Christian and conservative on my stream, and those are very purposefully put there because that's part of my whole ministry of playing a game and then having my Real Talk segment here at the end. And the ministry calling is being a light in the darkness of the internet. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before, but it was kind of funny. And this is where my subject is going to come from. But a little earlier in my stream, I had a chatter kind of joking around. They made a joke of, can we talk about how not very Christian California is, when they meant to say conservative? And I was just kind of thinking a little bit of how true that is. I live in California, and in a way, it's kind of the Daniel in the lion's den kind of situation because of just how straight up hostile a good portion of California is to those people who are both Christian and conservative. If anything, it's actually safer to be a Christian in California than it is to be a conservative. But at the same time, I live on the other side of California, quote unquote, where it is predominantly conservative. So it's just kind of a unique approach because I've been through a good portion of California, either earlier in my life traveling for work or visiting, or just because I'm keep my nose in political goings on and current events. I try to stay aware of the stuff happening and stuff around me. And for the last, I would say, about 3 to 4 years now, there has been an absolute flood of an exodus of people leaving California. And a majority of those are Christian and conservative people fleeing California, going to other more friendly states. And I can't say I blame them. I've had more than one person ask me, so why are you still in California? Talking to me specifically. And beyond the answer of, because this is where my family is, this is where my friends are, this is where my history is, this is where I'm familiar with, and those are all valid reasons, it's because I haven't been called to leave California yet. I've prayed about it multiple times, and I don't feel called to leave California. For whatever reason, I have no bloody clue. It's hostile to my faith. It's hostile to my political view. It's downright hostile to my wallet. Oh my goodness. It feels like every month my wallet wants to commit harikiri on itself with all the taxes and how expensive California is to live in, but I'm still here. I'm still here to, I guess, not only shine my light in the darkness of the internet, but also to shine my light in a dark state. Not fully certain what the calling of staying in California is yet, but I know what my calling for this ministry right here, right now is, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So the vast majority of my Real Talk segments so far have either been Christian focused or good wisdom focused. Haven't really talked about anything conservative yet, partly because this is where the little bit of fear comes in, is because people are more readily to agree to disagree on Christian principles than they are about political principles currently, and bringing up anything political or religious for that matter is usually where the pitchforks and axes and torches are pulled out and people draw up on either sides of their subject. But I'm not even going there right now. I'm not even really sure where I'm going with this. But I do know for certain God has called me to be not only a Christian streamer, but a Christian conservative streamer. So going into the Real Talk, kind of joking about going into the joke my viewer mentioned earlier about can we talk about how not very Christian California is, not very conservative California is, but specifically the Christian part. As we've been seeing with my Star Wars KOTOR playthrough, which is what I'm currently doing on the gaming side of stuff, we've already seen how easy it is to fall to the dark side, quote unquote, going back into that metaphor of things. And I know from my own life, from my own struggles with addictions, from people that I have helped through my leadership ministry that I help with my Celebrate Recovery group. I've seen it in the world at large of just how easy it is to slip to the quote-unquote dark side. Evil is unfortunately easy to fall into. It's incredibly difficult and hard and miserable when you're in it. but it is incredibly easy to slip into. And that's one of the oxymorons of it, is that it's incredibly easy to slip into. And then when it gets to its claws into you, it's incredibly difficult to be Christian and to quote unquote stay on the light side, to go back to that Star Wars metaphor. It takes purpose, it takes effort, it takes intention. It takes a lot to fight the good fight. And when it comes to politics, it is so easy to fall into temptation, to fall into corruption, to fall into greed, hubris, which is a worse form of pride to a certain degree. It is so easy to become corrupt as a politician that it takes a lot of effort and a lot of intentionality and even a lot of accountability to not become a corrupt politician. And California, because of its vast riches in resources, because we have a lot of natural resources, we have a lot of natural beauty. I've been to multiple of our national parks and they're gorgeous. We also have a lot of industry. We have a lot of tech. We have so many good things going for us that I think that's why California quickly became one of the biggest states of the union and one of the richest states in the union. But that also led to a even more and greater propensity for corruption. And it started off a long time ago. And I'm putting the onus not just on the corrupt politicians and the people who let them get into power, but also Christians and conservatives who have forsook their accountability per se. There's many verses in the Bible that talk about being a godly, upright leader. And this is not just a leader of a family, but it talks about kings and governors and rulers, and how even the kings and rulers and governors need to be God-fearing and God-following. One thing I've seen all too often of so many Christians and churches up to today's day and age is, oh, that's something of the world. We don't need to be concerned about that. When we're literally called in the Bible, I forget what verse it is, but we're called to be in the world, but not of the world. So to be in the world, but not of the world, we're still a part of the world. And so many Christians and churches have forsaken their accountability of being a light in the darkness, being salt of the earth, being in the world and being good stewards of the world, that it has let evil rise. It has let evil and corruption perpetrate its way through everything. And I see that in politics so much. How many churches out there actually combat corrupt, evil politics? Almost none. And I live at a church that is probably a little more political than most other churches out there. And even they're not willing to dive into politics or political topics all that much. And I'm not saying, oh, we need to make America Christian or Christianity the one religion of America. No, I respect and honor America's heritage of being freedom of religion. That's literally one of the founding tenets and principles of America. But you can't forsake all religion out of politics. Because if you remove all religion from politics, then what's left? If you remove all of the good influence from politics, then the only influence you have left is bad, is evil, is corruption. I know that a lot of the proponents against Christianity say, oh, you need to have separation of church and state. And that's one of those founding principles again. But if you look at a lot of the material that our founding fathers wrote from way back when, it's not completely remove religion of any kind from politics. It's there will be no state-run churches and no church-run states. But that doesn't mean remove all morality and religion out of politics. So quite literally being Daniel so to say, and living in the lion's den of Christianity and politics here in California, I have seen the rise of, even in just my 32 years of life, I have seen California go off of the cliff's edge of evil and corruption, more so than many other areas of the world. And it's so sad, because when you remove all good, all virtue, all morality from something, the only other influence possible is evil, corrupt influence. And that's something that I have seen personally myself, something I live in practically every day since I live in California. It's a daily thing almost. So maybe that's where this whole real talk subject is going, is we as Christians, we as conservatives, cannot forsake our place in the world just because it doesn't seem like it's our job. We as Christians have to be in the world while we're at the exact same call to be not of the world. Because there's many things that are of the world that we're called not to be part of. And those are usually sinful issues. But we're still in this world during our fleeting tenure on it while we're alive. And we're called to be good stewards of what we have. And that includes being a good steward of even in political stuff. So just like I mentioned at the beginning, where we have to be intentional and purposeful about not slipping to the quote-unquote dark side, we also have to be purposeful and intentional about holding back the world from slipping to the dark side as a whole, being the salt of the earth. Salt is a preservative. We preserve the good. We are called to be the salt of the earth, to fight back against evil, fight back against corruption. So yes, where ultimate authority is going to be, or ultimate responsibility is going to be upon the people in power who are evil and wrong and corrupt, even Christians are going to share a bit in that responsibility, because we failed in our job to be in the world. We failed in our job to be the salt of the earth. We failed in our job to be the wall against evil. And goodness knows it's a massive undertaking, this ministry calling that I received from God Almighty, with being a light in the darkness of the internet, and whatever He has in store for me in terms of California, I do not know. And those are probably two of the darkest areas I know about currently, California and the internet. And I'm currently called to be in both of them. To what end? Only time will tell. But I'm doing my part. Doing my part with only being able to see one step in front of my feet at a time. Join me in this fight, and whatever you are, wherever you are, and with whatever you're able to do, pray about it, seek God's guidance, seek His counsel, and whatever it is that He might be calling you to do, and be in this world and not of it. Be salt of the earth, and fight back against evil and corruption, wherever it may be. This has been a long stream. I appreciate everyone for showing up. See y'all next time. Bye.